Welcome to this episode of Let's Talk Trans with your hosts Gabe and Leo. This is a show that supports the LGBTQ plus community as a whole while focusing on the lives, struggle, and achievements of transgender people. Are you ready? Let's get started. Alright, here we go. Hey, it's another episode of Let's Talk Trans. We are so happy to have you guys back with us. It is our first live podcast broadcast.
Broadcast.
Isn't it technically what it is?
I have no idea.
Okay. So we do have a special guest with us today. We decided we needed to do this one a little bit earlier than usual because there was football involved tonight.
There is?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know who's playing, but...
San Francisco... I couldn't tell you who the other team is. I just know that it's Sanford. I don't even like Sanford.
That's because you...
I'm a Giants fan. I will admit it.
Okay, so for those of you who are 49ers fans in California...
I deeply apologize.
Yeah, and for those of you who are 49ers fans in New York, if there are any...
Why?
Oh.
Why?
Why?
On the wrong side of the country. So anyway, what we wanted to talk about today, we finally got everything working.
We did.
We finally got all these microphones working, and I've got a microphone right in my face.
Nom.
Don't eat it.
Nom.
But, so like I said, we brought in a special guest. We brought in the person who we typically define as the demon spawn.
Yeah.
I promise you I was not spawned.
And this
What?
is...
You heard me.
This is my nibbling.
I don't know what the word would be, not gonna lie.
Nibbling, gibbling.
It's one of them.
It's one of them.
Some
the demon spawn we refer to as Ace. So Ace, welcome to our podcast. Yeah, exactly.
Just scream.
Exactly.
This screams.
It took like 2 weeks to finally find a time to steal you for
In my
this.
defense, I am either moving stuff around, helping out with housework, or sleeping.
Alright, fair.
You'd think I'd say schoolwork, but no.
They do more than you do in the house.
Oh.
Wow, okay.
Okay, so anyway.
I'm never telling you to make hash browns again.
Okay, that's not fair.
No, it's not. Yes, it is fair.
It is fair. Leo,
Why are you touching my head?
hey, focus over here.
Sorry.
I desperately wanted hash browns this morning, and we didn't have any in the freezer, so Leo said, well, look online, figure out how to make some. You're smart. Well, guess what? They were the best hash browns I've ever had.
Your smart part.
You know what? Wow. Blonde moment. I'm allowed to have blonde moments. So, like I said, we are going to talk today about being alone in the transgender environment. Ace is non-binary. You refer to yourself as demi-boy.
Mm-hmm.
And Leo and I, obviously both, transgender, female to male.
Trans masks.
Trans masks, which sounds really creepy for Halloween, but okay.
What are you this Halloween? I'm a trans mask.
I'm a trans mask.
It's the shortened term of masculine.
Are you really masculine? Like, are you really?
I'm more masculine than most guys in my school.
He's more masculine than I am. I own a skirt and wear it willingly.
What?
You heard me.
Okay.
Okay, then.
So, with this, like I said, I wanted to talk about this because part of gender dysphoria is that feeling of loneliness, that feeling of disconnect. And like always, we insist that, whatever we read, we are...
Not professionals.
Thank you. We're professionals. We're just not professional as far as medication goes or physicians. We're not therapists.
No, we're not therapists.
We see therapists.
I'm studying that.
We're not therapists.
Working on that one.
This one's trying to become
I'm working on it.
Oh, there you go. All right. Cool. That'll
Closer
help.
than we are.
That'll help in the future.
I'll let you know when I get there, if I ever do.
You'll get there. I believe in you.
Wrong choice.
Is that how that works? Wrong choice?
Bad idea.
Maybe not. So, like I said, in here, what we're going to do is we are going to open up our Facebook page. So if you're a member of the transgender, if you're anybody, and you're on Facebook, we have the Let's Talk Trans podcast page, and you can hit us up on these topics.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be looking at them today because we are live, so we'll be able to get to you. If you're a friend of ours and you want to hit us up, I've got my phone out, and you can, hit us that way. Please don't hit my phone. It's brand new.
Just feed it.
So it was cool. But like I said, what I wanted to talk about was that, like I said, that loneliness, because as of 2016, only 0.6% of people in this country identified as transgender.
And we should state which country this is.
I would think that by our accents, people would know that we're here in the United States.
You never know.
I would also like to say that because we mentioned football and
Not
wrong side of
foosball?
the country,
All right, fair.
Wrong side of the country?
when you mentioned San Fran and New York,
That's true. I mean, they do kind
A
of...
little slow.
yeah, there's your
I feel like
blonde
those are the
moment.
two, not countries, Jesus Christ,
Ah,
states
the
everyone
countries
knows.
Now. The
Okay.
countries now.
Countries.
They're their own countries.
California's a country.
They might as well be.
They used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Mexico. Long story.
Very long.
We're not getting into the history.
It's not a history class.
Next time.
No, we do that all the time here. But the thing of it is like, when you think of 0.6% of hundreds of millions of people, it's really
Not a lot of people.
It's really not a lot. But again, that, like I said, the hundreds of millions, we can do the census from 2021 or 2020, whenever the last census was, but there hasn't been an updated, I don't want to say census of transgenders, because a lot of people don't want to admit it. And there are still people who are closet.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Who are hanging out in the closet, which is perfectly fine to be in there.
My closet was very comfortable.
Mine wasn't.
Yeah.
How's your closet?
I took the doors off.
You did. I did see that. I did see that you took
I
the doors off.
took the doors off.
Now, I got stuck in the closet downstairs, and I asked Mom for help to get out, and my brother told me to get my senior quote. And I have stuck with that idea. I only have 3 years left.
And then you're going to... I asked my mom for help out of the closet?
No, it's going to be Mom, help, I'm stuck in the closet, because I yelled that. I got stuck in the closet.
I like that. I really do. Like I said, when it comes to looking at, again, as a teacher, I love to look at the numbers. I love to see statistics, probability, the likelihood of things. And here, where we are in NEPA, I actually met my first transgender adult the other day right here in our town, and I was blown away. She was very, very polite. We were just happened to be in the same area at the same time, doing the same thing at the same time, and she stuck out to me like a sore thumb. The makeup, the hair, she was gorgeous, don't get me wrong, but it was very obvious to me that she was transgender, and it made me wonder whether or not transgender people identify each other and go, hey, are you transgender? I'm transgender.
I feel like it's when you run into another member of the LGBTQ, and you look at him and go, and do the hand thing.
Do they do that? Do they go like, oh my god?
I do it in school all
I've
the
done
time.
it to so many people in school.
I'll walk up and go, and I get one back.
And then it's cool.
Yeah.
So the question has to be then, what happens when you do that and you don't get one back?
You might end up getting hate crimed.
There's always the risk.
Good to know.
Especially in school.
That's
Especially
good to know.
here.
But I remember when we were on vacation the last time, we kept seeing this one person with bright green hair.
Mm-hmm.
And the two of us kept going, oh yeah, they're non-binary.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so that's kind of like we had that conversation either the last episode or the episode before that, where we kind of we judge each other a little bit.
Mm-hmm. But it's not like a harmful judgment.
I don't
It's
wanna-
like, oh.
I don't want to be.
Oh.
I don't want to say like it's like assuming. I also don't want to call it a gaydar.
I call it a
I don't
gaydar.
want to call it that.
It's a gaydar.
But like, as someone who has bright green hair, I just kind of want to be like,
So
are you queer?
So and like I said, when it came to her, it was more like oh hey, somebody else in my community. Hey somebody else that understands me.
Mm-hmm.
Versus going, look at that. No,
Yeah.
I wasn't doing that.
Mhm.
It was more like, hey, maybe a potential friend or somebody to hang out with. And like I said, we've since then exchanged numbers and we've talked a couple of times. But yeah, so
Look at
it's not.
that. Am I getting a mom?
No. No, there will be no moms. No.
No more mom.
No more moms. As you have told people in school, your mother is dead.
It's really weird because we get a lot of looks because we'll have arguments like that at lunch.
Mhm.
And Leo will tell me like, oh, well, at least my dad loves me. My mom's not dead. The amount of looks we've gotten at lunch from concerned friends who don't know.
Yeah.
It is so funny.
It's probably about the same amount of looks that you guys get. It's when I tell people where I work.
Yeah.
So like I said, we deal with this limited number of like-minded people. Oh,
Mhm.
don't get me wrong. There's a grand support, and the LGBT plus community has like 4.5% of the U.S. population.
Mm-hmm.
But that's still a fraction, a true fraction of how many people are here in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And, Ace, you alright over there?
I'm sick.
You're getting all teary-eyed.
No, I'm sick. I've been like this for the past 2 days.
Is it COVID?
No, I hope not.
God, we should be masking. We should be masking in the studio. Hey,
I am currently masking, if that makes you feel any better.
Right.
But not the kind you'd think.
Is that like trans masking?
No, funnily enough, it's more of a neurodivergent thing, which does not fall into this category in the slightest, but it's that kind of masking.
You'll have to explain that later to me.
Of course.
Okay, so, like I said, we were talking about this LGBTQ plus community and how, 4.5% of the United States population is transgender. Again, those numbers as of 2017. We're 2022, I'm sure. I mean, and we have seen an explosion of the LGBTQ plus community since COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if people just got tired of being in their houses, so they came out of their closets, or
It might have
Or
been
what?
the time alone to sit and think, and they might have finally gotten comfortable with who they are.
it's definitely possible.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know from my experience and the ways my friends have said it is it's not very fun hiding who you are.
No,
Because you can hide it for as long as you want, but it never really goes away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, we talk about this on the podcast a couple of times. I've hidden who I am for the better part of 20 years. And Leo didn't have to hide quite so much, but Leo was in, like, total denial, I think.
I was in denial. I was like, no. Me.
You know,
I think
Trans? Nah.
there's all these pictures of Leo in
Back
dresses, matching
when
dresses
I was
with his
in-
sister.
a different school district, I had a trans friend who changed his name every week, like all that, and I understand that. I think that was my moment of like, you can do that? This isn't just being a tomboy? That's a thing you can do?
You know, this is gonna sound really, really odd, and it's mildly off topic. I had the chance to talk to y'all's grandmother the other night, and I was talking about the podcast because when we mention her, I like to let her know since
Fill
she's
her
not
in.
she's not taken back. Not that she listens very often, but she's not taken back by the fact that,
Unlike someone.
needless to say, that we discussed it. Anyway.
I'm sorry, Leo.
And I was talking about gender dysphoria and how it was a mental disorder. And she was completely blown away that people have to be diagnosed here in the United States with gender dysphoria in order to seek treatment. She didn't realize that.
Yeah.
And again, it's just one more of those things, and our listeners talk about this quite frequently, one more of those things that a cisgender individual is completely unaware of.
Yeah.
You know, that we as transgenders have to deal with on a daily basis is, again, gender dysphoria. And the reason why we're talking about the numbers and whether we're alone or not in our community or even in our family, because let's face it, sometimes you can be in a completely crowded room and feel utterly alone,
Oh, 100%.
is that, it's part of the gender dysphoria. Being alone and feeling that utter loneliness, it leads to the gender dysphoria, it leads to depression, it leads to all these other things that,
Yeah.
we've all experienced. And I want to point out that you're not alone. Granted, there are only, what do we say? Here in PA, there's 44,000 people with gender dysphoria, or 44,000 here who identify as transgender.
Yeah.
Out of 12.8 million people. But, that's still 44,000. That's not a small number.
No, it's not.
And again, this is something we talked about, when I go to work, I'm the only transgender at work that I know of. There's no more in our community. There's no more in our facility. When I came out to the supervisors, they were like, "Holy crap! Absolutely! Whatever we need to do." They didn't even know that our company had policies for transgenders, which is funny.
Yeah.
But now
I feel like they'd know that.
you would think they would know that, but I've learned never to assume. But so when I go through something, or I don't really have anybody to talk to at work, I can't explain, God, I wish they'd just stop calling me she at work.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
You guys, on the other hand, and then this is kind of where that gender gap comes from that Leo and I absolutely love having.
Age gap.
What did I say, gender gap?
Yeah, you said gender gap.
It's
meant generational
It's like the
gap.
store, gender gap.
Oh, I like that. There's baby gap, and gender gap.
It's where you buy all your gender-affirming clothing at.
Ah.
Another thing I hate is the word unisex. I hate that word.